Hi, welcome to this video data, which is all about how to learn Forex trading the right way and get the best education. Now, in terms of one of the best educational sites for Forex traders, or perhaps, in my view, even the best, it's Amazon.com, because you can get books from people who've really traded, who've really been successful. You can also get a lot of great books on psychology to give you that real deep insight into mindset that you need to win. Now, I'm going to review 6 fantastic books today, which I think any serious Forex trader should read. Also, just before I start, I'm just going to quickly say that just for new viewers that we do a lot of book reviews, and we do have a core 20 which we think all traders should read, and they're on a playlist. You can click the link beneath this video to view those books, and those books will cost you probably $150 or so, yet they will give you everything you need to win at Forex trading in terms of strategy and mindset. A lot of beginners, when they get started in the markets, they want to buy courses or strategies from vendors online, sometimes spending thousands of dollars, and most of the material sold is junk. It's worthless, doesn't come from real traders. Okay, so strongly recommend you look at our core 20 books, and 6 today I think are fantastic as well. All books are available on Amazon. They're not expensive, and obviously you can read the reviews and learn a bit more about the book before you buy it, but I would highly recommend all the 6 books I'm going to go through today. So let's go and take a look at them, just go through why I think they're such valuable education. Right, let's take a look at the 6 books. They're in no order of importance or which are my favourites. I like them all. I think they're great reading for anyone serious about making money from markets. Let's start with book number 1, The House of Money. It's by Steve Dronby. This is a really great book. It's basically written in a similar style to Market Wizards. Okay, if you're familiar with the Jack Schwager books, and they were rated some of the best books of all time for traders. I think The House of Money is up there with the Market Wizard series of books. It's a little bit more up to date because Dronby has been writing recently. The House of Money is all about hedge funds, the rise of the hedge fund industry, how they trade. Goes a lot into macro investing, which is a preferred strategy of most of the successful hedge funds around. And there's some great interviews in the book. 2 standout ones are with one of the best hedge fund managers around today, a guy called Jim Leitner, and there's another one with an anonymous trader who works for a London bank. I personally thought the book was worth it just for those 2 interviews. Really great book. It's a pity Stephen Dronby hasn't written more books. He's written one other, which is called The Invisible Hands, which I'm reading at the moment, which is to do with on risk and money management. I haven't read much of it so far, but it looks like it will be as good as The House of Money, so well worth buying. Book number 2 is Why Aren't They Shouting by Kevin Rogers. I stumbled across this book by accident. Title comes from when he went to join Deutsche Bank in the 80s, and orders were done over the phone in dealing rooms, and then the dealing rooms went silent and the computers took over. The book is really about the history of Forex trading and that change from dealers to machines doing everything, which might not sound that exciting or relevant maybe, but I think it is, because you learn a lot about the way banks operate, and you learn about how high frequency traders operate, who are a real danger to financial markets and also danger to retail traders. They create massive volatility, they create mispricing, they front run retail traders' orders. They know where their orders are, they know where their stops are, and they go after them. And basically a lot of traders think that the broker took their stop. It's more likely to be a HFT. They are lightning quick, could do huge volume in the short term, can push price. A HFT could do several hundred orders in the blink of an eye. They're that quick. If you've ever considered day trading or scalping, this book will put you off. You'll see yeah, what a disadvantage a retail trader has when there's HFTs about. It's really interesting from a historical perspective, learning about banks, how they do their pricing, their continual battle with HFTs, and just a really good book on the background to the Forex markets. A lot of traders just don't really think about or have any knowledge of. So I thought that was a great book. Book number 3 is A Man for All Markets by Ed Thorpe. Regular viewers will know he's one of my favourite traders. I just think A Man for All Markets is probably one of the better autobiographies of a trader. There aren't many good ones around. I think this one is in the top 3. You learn a lot about Thorpe's thinking in terms of he thinks in probabilities. He cleaned up in Vegas when he developed a card counting system, and then he basically was one of the most successful hedge fund managers ever. He was around for 40 years, and you learn a lot about how he trades, a lot about risk management, a lot about his philosophy of life. And he's got, outside of trading, an interesting life as well. The only point I make about the book is the last third of it is a bit padded, could have been a lot shorter, but it's one of the great traders of all time. And, it is a really good book for anyone to read. It's also very motivational as well. Thorpe is comes out a very humble, very nice sort of guy. Next 3 books are not trading books. They're to do with psychology and mindset. Book number 4 is You Are Not So Smart by David McCraney. I thought this book was absolutely fantastic because what it does is it goes through all the main biases we're subject to as humans, which basically make us make the wrong decisions. And he covers all the ones that come into play in trading. Let's say, for instance, anchoring, confirmation bias, Texas sharpshooter fallacy, numerous biases. And he actually covers some biases that I actually hadn't heard of and actually are very relevant to trading. It's an easy read. And it's very funny as well. I found his writing style very witty. Now, normally when I recommend a book, which is the best book to learn about your mind and getting the right psychology and staying clear of your biases, I normally recommend Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow by Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman. Now, that is actually a fantastic book. It is the definitive work in my view, but it isn't an easy read. Okay? If you want an easier read, then You Are Not So Smart is a great book, as an alternative, so to speak. Really impressed with the book. Book number 5, Legacy by James Kerr. I bought this just kind of on a whim, just because it was so highly rated by people in sport, business, finance, and it's actually about the All Blacks rugby team. And Kerr actually wants to work out why they are the most successful team ever in the history of sport and why they're always at the top. And what he discovers is, the psychology of an All Black. And you might not think you can learn a lot from a book about rugby and apply it to Forex trading. But I think Bloomberg, when they reviewed it, said you just can't stop turning the pages and reading it in one setting or sitting. I mean, I did that. I just thought it's fantastic. A lot of great psychological tips in it. It's highly motivational as well. So I would strongly recommend that. Forget it's about rugby. You don't have to have any interest in rugby whatsoever. Book is great. A lot of business schools and finance houses are teaching what is in that book now. Last book on the list is The Theory That Wouldn't Die by Sharon Britesh, and it's about Bayes' theory. Now, Bayes' theory is one of the most influential probability theories in the world today. But hundreds of years ago, it was shunned. And her book is a history of the theory and how it gained acceptance. Okay, and yeah, it's a very influential theory. It helped crack the Enigma code. The military use it to track submarines. The US once lost a nuclear bomb somewhere in Spain, used the theory to track down the bomb. Google use it. They particularly use it in spam filters. Rentec, one of the most successful hedge funds around, uses it in their trading. Now, it is a mathematical theory, but you don't actually need to know the mathematics of the theory to think like a Bayesian. Now, thinking like a Bayesian is basically weighing the evidence for your decision in the right way, and basically checking the probability of your answer. It's more a way, you just do it as a way of thinking rather than a mathematical formula. So I use a simple checklist. I think, all of the great traders or competent traders around think like a Bayesian, even if they never have heard of the theory. It's a way of thinking, not falling for your biases and getting closer to the truth and keeping your emotions out. It's a history of the theory. The mathematics is there for anyone who wants it. But yeah, it is really a theory anyone can use just by adopting a different type of mindset. I hope I've explained it incorrectly, but I really loved that book as well. So it's a bit of a mixture. 3 on trading, 3 on mindset and motivation, all worth purchasing. And you can go and check the reviews on Amazon. They're all highly rated by people who've bought the book. For me, well, I love books anyway, but I actually would say these are some of the best books I've read for a while. And I'll obviously be reviewing more books. And I think, just make one final point. People say you keep reading books, they're covering the same subjects a long time, particularly in terms of psychology. And I think it's just a question of some books give you different angles or just a different way of looking at something. You may know you've got to avoid, let's say, confirmation bias when you're trading, but a book, different books will give you different angle. So for me, I just can't read enough books probably. Well, anyway, that is the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you go and purchase the books and enjoy them as well. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching me as usual. Take care. Have a good day.